Greetings everyone. Well, pretty cool update this time around for you. As you know, I've been wanting to pick up more of the cool cult films and 80s and 90s and 70s cult classics that have been put out by Shout Factory and their sort of horror imprint Scream Factory. Short version is, recently I did exactly that. Picked up a few more for the collection, so I thought we'd take a look. And I also picked up another collector's edition of a notable film. Not a Scream Factory or Shout Factory title, but I don't really have enough of this genre to warrant doing a whole video on the subject, so I thought I'd just kind of piggyback it into this one, since we're talking about collector's editions and things like that. Alrighty, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. More shouting and screaming today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Alrighty, well, let's take a look here, shall we? Okay, so let's start off with the Shout Factory titles before we get into the Scream Factory ones. Now, first up, this is one that I used to own on Laserdisc many moons ago. I guess this could fit into the stuff based on comic books collection, because it's based on a comic book, specifically an independent comic book that was quite popular in the early 90s. And I picked up, after seeing the movie and really enjoying it, I actually did pick up the first volume of a collected edition of comics based on this. I don't know if I actually still have it. Let me just take a quick peek at the shelf here. Yes, I do. I thought I still had it. I didn't think I got rid of it. Yeah, so I'll show you that briefly when we're done here. I picked up Lori Petty and Malcolm McDowell's epic sci-fi post-apocalyptic comedy masterpiece, Tank Girl. There you go. Yeah, very nice. Now, there have been rumors for ages, well, actually not so much rumors, but a statement by director Rachel Talalay that she actually had a director's cut version of this, which she feels was much better than the theatrically released cut and whatnot, and would have pleased the fans a little bit more, I think. But sadly, that is not available here, and nor are any deleted scenes or anything that might have been in that director's cut, so sadly it remains an enigma to this day, almost 20 years later. Yeah, this came out in 1995, so this is the 19th anniversary. But we do have some extra features on here, which the Laserdisc did not have. We've got an audio commentary with director Rachel Talalay and actress Lori Petty, interviews with Lori Petty and production designer Catherine Hardwick, a vintage featurette, and the theatrical trailer. So not a loaded extras package, but quite nice at least. Indeed, not too bad. Now, if you don't like this particular cover, if you open it up, inside, just take this off, there actually is a reversible cover, and you get an alternate version on the back there. Pretty cool. And then the Laserdisc edition I had actually had that artwork, the disc art you see there, but the larger form of it, which was, I guess, one of the other movie posters. But yeah, I always really liked Tank Girl. It's good fun, and so much so that I was curious about its comic book origins, so I picked up the first volume of the comic book, and the comic book is just a blast. It is an absolute hoot. Just tons and tons of fun. Really just wild and crazy artwork and just off-the-wall humor. Really good stuff. If you enjoyed the movie, I definitely recommend checking out the comics. They are an absolute blast. Lots and lots of fun. Now, next up, speaking of Laserdisc, this is one that I actually did order on Laserdisc from an eBay seller many moons ago. This is back in my bachelor apartment days, which you've seen some clips of in Horror of a Bachelor's Apartment. You remember that? Yeah, I used to order a lot of Laserdiscs back then through eBay, and this was one that I ordered. I was really looking forward to it. One of my friends and I had been enjoying the original old-time radio plays that this was based on, and we had, I believe, rented the movie on VHS just to check it out. The DVD edition that's been floating around for years is full screen, so that was kind of annoying. So it was not widescreen. There was another Blu-ray release of it. That's not the one you want. It's bare bones. It's not the greatest transfer. This, I believe, is an all-new transfer. Well, I think the other one's an okay transfer. It's nothing spectacular. I'm pretty sure this one's an all-new transfer. I could be mistaken. I haven't really looked into it much. But, boy, when I heard that Shout Factory was going to be giving this the Deluxe Collector's Edition treatment, sign me up, man. I should mention, when I got that Laserdisc in the mail, I never got the chance to enjoy it because it arrived smashed. Yeah, it was... Laserdiscs, you know, they're big, heavy, fragile items, and when you send them through the mail, you gotta pack that thing like a tank, girl. Yeah. Anyway, I'm, of course, talking about The Shadow, starring Alec Baldwin. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the original radio plays, in particular the first couple seasons, which actually starred none other than Mr. Orson Welles in the title role as Lamont Cranston, a.k.a. The Shadow. So this was a real surprise and a real treat to find out that Shout Factory was giving this the deluxe treatment. So we got the Deluxe Collector's Edition of The Shadow. Lots of goodies on here, all new extras. We got new interviews with director Russell Mulcahy, Alec Baldwin, Penelope Ann Miller, production designer Joseph Nemec, the third, director of photography Stephen H. Burriman, writer David Coep, and the theatrical trailer and a still gallery. Okay, not particularly loaded with extras, but you know, definitely going to enjoy those interviews and such and get some behind-the-scenes insight. I don't know, fan reaction seems to be kind of mixed on this one. As someone who's actually listened to a lot of the old radio plays, I really enjoyed this a lot. I mean, the thing about The Shadow is it's the kind of concept that was really designed from the ground up to be on the radio. I mean, it plays best in audio form. So to do it in visual form means you're kind of losing something. But that said, I think this is about as good a screen adaptation of that titular radio character that we can expect to have. I mean, I think they actually handled the source material quite well, and handled the character quite well. And you know, it's a decent movie. It's good stuff. And they've certainly, I mean, they've done The Shadow in visual form before over the years. I mean, they've done many comic book adaptations and such. And of course, he's appeared on many pulp magazine covers over the years. It was the only way we knew at the time what he actually looked like. But yeah, great stuff, great stuff. Really happy that that finally got a deluxe edition. Now, this I know is what you've been waiting for, the Scream Factory titles. Well, I picked up another trio of them. First up, I've had my eye on this for a while, and thought it was about time I stopped putting it off. I've never seen it. I've been wanting to see it for ages. One of John Carpenter's earlier films, and one of many of his earlier films actually, which really put him on the map. We've got Assault on Precinct 13, the original from 1976. So this is actually pre-Halloween. This is before he did Halloween. So, but he definitely got noticed for this one. Yeah, so this is really nice. Again, being in the Collector's Edition series, it does have two covers. You've got this new cover art here, and rear cover art there. And then the reversible cover art on the sleeve, which I've already reversed. So you got the new cover art on one side, and then you got the original poster art on the other side. So I flipped that around, so that's what we've got there. Very, very nice. Very nice. I love how they do that. And then you get two covers for the price of one. It's pretty cool. So, in terms of extras, the Scream Factory titles tend to be the ones that are really loaded, which is why you want your favorite films to get the Scream Factory's treatment. So, special features, we've got new interviews with actress Nancy Loomis Keys and art director and sound effects designer Tommy Lee Wallace. Audio commentary by writer-director John Carpenter. Interview with John Carpenter and actor Austin Stoker. Theatrical trailer and radio spots. So, there we go. So definitely looking forward to checking that one out. I've been familiar with the music from it for quite some time. It has a pretty cool, you know, John Carpenter score. I love his music. Really good stuff. And yeah, so definitely looking forward to checking that out for the first time. Now next up, this is one that I'm positive I've seen this. Like, I'm positive that I saw this back when it was still new. But I honestly don't remember much about it. All I remembered was this vague sense that I really enjoyed it and wanted to own it, but I just never got around to getting it in any form. Well, now I own it thanks to the deluxe edition put out by Scream Factory. We've got this, 80s Valley Girls fighting zombies. We got Night of the Comet. There you go. Yeah, I've had my eye on this one since it was first announced as well, and finally picked it up. And there's the back cover there for you as well. So special features on this one, we've got an all-new audio commentary and interviews with stars Kelly Maroney, Catherine Mary Stewart, Mary Woronov, and special makeup effects creator David B. Miller, theatrical trailer, and more. There's that good old "and more" that we love so much. So yeah, so that's the newly commissioned artwork for this collector's edition, and then once again we have a reversible cover which features the original poster art and some different key art on the back. So very cool stuff indeed. I'm pretty sure all of these are DVD and Blu-ray. Well, this one is anyway. Let's put that there. Alright. And then finally, last but most definitely not least, this one I also owned on Laserdisc and thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember renting this when it first came out. The first time I heard about this movie was actually in the British magazine entitled Fear magazine. It's from director Sam Raimi, who at the time was most well known for the Evil Dead movies. He hadn't really done a lot of other stuff at the time. This came out the year after, I believe. Yeah, the year after Batman, 1989. And I always saw this as kind of his take on a Batman-ish character. It's kind of like a mix of Batman with Phantom of the Opera. And a little bit of the Invisible Man thrown in as well. We've got Sam Raimi's foray into the superhero genre, and one of Liam Neeson's earliest films, Darkman. Yeah, the original Darkman. Great stuff. Now, there was another Blu-ray set that includes the 2 sequels, so if you want everything, you're going to have to pick that one up as well. I'm definitely going to pick that one up just to have the 2 sequels. This is strictly the first one, but it is absolutely loaded with extras. Let's give you a quick peek at the original poster art there, which was also the cover of my Laserdisc edition back in the day. Very nice. I had all 3 of the Darkman films on Laserdisc. Darkman 2 and 3 were basically direct-to-video, and boy does it show. Starring Arnold Vosloo in the title role. Liam Neeson had gone on to bigger and better things. But this is a really fun movie. I mean, you got Liam Neeson in the title role. You got Larry Drake from L.A. Law as the main character, which was quite a different character for him to play at the time. Most people knew him from, well, just from the mentally challenged character he played on L.A. Law. Whereas here, he played this wonderful villain, and he made such an impression. He actually had a short stint doing, crazy villain characters. You may remember him from Dr. Giggles was another one. I used to have Dr. Giggles on Laserdisc as well, where he basically played an insane serial-killing surgeon. Yeah, so anyway, special features. We've got a new interview with Frances McDormand, audio commentary with director of photography Bill Pope, That Will Be Just Fine, an interview with actor Larry Drake, Durant's Men, interviews with actors Dan Bell and Danny Hicks, Darkman's Designs, interviews with production designer Randy Sur and art director Philip Dagort. The Face of Revenge, an interview with special makeup creator Tony Gardner. Original storyboards, theatrical trailer, TV spots, vintage electronics press kit, vintage cast and crew profiles on Sam Raimi, Liam Neeson, Frances McDormand, and Larry Drake. And there you go. Fantastic. Love it. We'll put that next to The Shadow. They kind of they can play nice together. So yeah, so that's the Shout and Scream Factory editions. Got some pretty good ones. A few these 4, well, actually all of them. And this one I've had my eye on for a while. So these were kind of the ones that were right at the top of the list. This one especially, and these 2 especially. I just love everything, okay? Shut up. Alright, now last, but most definitely not least, remember how I mentioned that this is kind of my loose connection between these things. Remember how I mentioned how I loved Orson Welles as the Shadow? Well, I also love Orson Welles films, and I haven't seen a lot of them as much as... I've mostly heard his radio stuff. I actually have not seen a lot of his films. But this was one that, my understanding was one of his big notable ones. I actually did have it on DVD a few years back, and that was my first time seeing it, and I just thought it was fantastic. Just an amazing film noir piece. So when I saw that, I'd heard about this collector's edition that was coming out a little while ago, and kind of had it on my radar, and then I'd forgotten about it. And then I was just kind of looking around, seeing, oh, what kind of stuff is there? I saw some other Orson Welles film, and on Blu-ray, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that one. I wonder if this film has had a Blu-ray release yet, and I'd completely forgotten about this deluxe edition that I'd heard about. We have the limited edition Blu-ray release of Touch of Evil. Yeah, this is a great, great movie, a film noir classic. And here's the things that make this particularly special and far beyond any previous release. It's actually got 3 completely different cuts of the movie. You've got the original theatrical version. I'll just read what it says on the back here. The original theatrical version. This version of the film was seen by U.S. audiences when it was released in theaters in 1958. The preview version, created prior to the theatrical version, this cut of the film incorporates some of Welles' requests and was rediscovered by Universal in 1976. And finally, the reconstructed version. Re-edited in 1998, this definitive cut of the film is reconstructed to Orson Welles' original vision based on his detailed 58-page memo to the studio. Now, regarding that, I guess when the first cut of this was put together, Welles had quite a few things to say about it, and basically wrote a 58-page memo to the studio regarding all of the changes that he wanted to be made. And as a bonus, in this collector's edition, they actually give you a full reproduction of the 58-page memo, which is just freaking brilliant. I mean, what a wonderful insight into, Wells's imagination and creative process. I mean, a rare insight. You don't see stuff like that very often, especially from, for someone like Orson Welles. So it's great to have a collector's item like that. And then as far as the packaging itself, it's really nothing spectacular. Just a standard keep case like that, single disc. I guess it has the 3 cuts via seamless branching or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I couldn't pass this up because when I first saw Touch of Evil on DVD a few years back, I mean, it just blew me away. I mean, I enjoy film noir anyway, and I really like black and white as a visual medium, and especially for movies like this, like for dramatic pieces, I think it gives it this stark look and feel to it that you just don't get in color. And yeah, I think there's just certain types of movies that benefit from black and white, or at the very least from a more muted color palette. But the thing about black and white is it's not about color and popping off the screen. It's about contrast. You get that stark contrast between black and white, and then all the shades of gray, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. So really looking forward to checking that out again, and the various cuts. Especially curious about this reconstructed version. I honestly have no idea which version I saw on that DVD release many moons ago. Maybe it was the reconstructed version, for all I know. I have no idea. I don't remember. I sold it ages ago. But yeah, glad to have that back in the collection in a beautiful deluxe edition. I think this has been a real epic length update, and I should probably wrap it up. Well, that's the end of it anyway. Alrighty, so some pretty cool new collector's editions. Thank you, Shout Factory, for continuing to be awesome. And thank you to the fine folks at Universal for giving us this beautiful deluxe edition of Touch of Evil, an Orson Welles classic. Gotta love it. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now, folks. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.